Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Unboxing the Underground. Today I'm actually going to be getting into one here that is pretty local. I know my last two videos were a bit, I want to say, Midwest, East Coast. The Rotting Flesh one was Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and then the Isolated Beans one was Baltimore, Maryland. This one's actually right here in Michigan where I'm at. I can't wait to get into it. This is going to be containing the newest EP from Insane E, a look at things to come. You are going to hear tracks of that here in the background. This one is They're Coming For Me. This is one of my two top tracks. I normally do like a top 5, but considering that this album is only 5 tracks, I figured 2 was enough. The other one I really liked on here was Biohazard. But before we actually get into this from Ego Unlimited, which is Insane E's store, we're going to go over a little bit of the history leading up to this release. At least a very brief, maybe basic history, because there is a lot to Insane E. Not many people realize that he's actually been a part of the scene a lot longer than they think, and how far back his career actually spans. But we're going to get into that today a little bit. I don't want to bore you guys. I usually try to make these about 15 minutes long at the most. So I don't want to bore you guys. I'd rather you guys see what you want to see, and you're going to want to go bye-bye. It's alright. It's okay. But we are going to get into this guy. So I want to say 2004, 2005, at least the earliest releases that I can remember. Insane E was actually part of a group called the No Clue Crew, which also featured Gertie, Havoc, and PJ Bozak. They had a series of releases for a good hot while, starting with the Yuletide EP. I want to say it was 2004. They had their First Gear debut full length. 2005, then there was Warlords versus Monks in 2007. Trying to think here. I think that's right when he also released his solo album, The Fine Line, or just Fine Line, 2009, before heading over to the Gemini Project, which also featured King Nasty, and released 2 back-to-back releases in 2010 and 2011. The Weirdo EP and Experiment 17. Then you kind of jump back into No Clue Crew for their newest single that just actually came out last year after quite a few years of nothing being put out. So hopefully that means we're actually going to see some more from that group as well. Sorry, I kind of lost my breath for a second. That was weird. But let's continue. And then now you have this, which is I would say a follow-up to maybe Scales. There was another EP before this as well, but I would say Scales was probably the newest one before this. If I'm remembering correctly, I might not be. But that pretty much covers the history as far as leading up to what's in here. So now that we're caught up, how about I just shut the fuck up and get into it? So here we go. He is also on tour right now, coming up, and there's going to be, I think, 2 shows in May. One of them is going to be on the 14th at the Token Lounge. I want to say that's Westland. And then there's going to be one May 30th at the Liquid Lounge in Piqua, Ohio. I will provide links on how you can get there, get the tickets. And also, that is also the same tour ABK is doing with Fake Low, so I'm sure Insane E is also on that with them. So it'd be kind of cool to see all 3 of those guys together. So let's take a look at the first item. QR code. I'm going to leave this up here for a second. Maybe you guys can scan it. Pretty sure it's just going to take you directly to the store. And I will provide links for all of that as well. That's a cool graphic. That would be a really cool tattoo. But there's one of the flyers, and These are all done. All the artwork is done by Insane E, who is also the head graphic designer at MNE, which is pretty fucking cool. He's also up for voting for an award that's put out by Johnny Depp. I want to say it's the People's Artist Award. So if he gets this, he gets some sort of cash prize, but I think the coolest part is he gets to have his artwork displayed at the Elysium Salon, which would be pretty cool. And if some of you are unfamiliar with that artwork that he does, you should check out the coloring books, the Juggalo coloring books that he puts out. Those are actually pretty cool. I think, volume 2 at one time, but I have since misplaced it. I have no clue where it is. Alright, some more flyers. Okay, this was the EP I was thinking of that came out just before this one. And this track is Break It Down. And then we got this side for Neon Jesus. Yeah, this one was Earth. Scales is the other newest one that was put out recently in the last couple years. That's pretty cool. Alright. Okay. There's quite a bit in here. I actually need to separate this a bit, so expand. Alright. G-Bits. You know how you got all this in here. Alright, so first item. We got the Earth EP. This one is Biohazard. This is my other favorite one off of here. But there we go. We got the cover for Earth. We got the back. That was cool. Then we got Scales. Now I do believe that this is just an insert over another cover that's in here. It honestly does look that way. It looks like there's something else directly behind it. I'll probably get into it so we can actually check it out. Honestly, I'll probably get into all of these. There's the front of that again. That was cool. Yeah, that was 2024. I believe both of these are 2024. Maybe, okay, 2025 on Earth. And 2024 for Scales. Some of you also might not know, but he also went under the name Quick Draw on that Riders album that MNE had put out a while back. So there's some new info and some factoids for you guys who like to know everything. Also, the Astro design and the Magic Ninja logo itself were also designed by him. So some more facts for you guys. And then we got the Art of Bilal. So that's the last of the CDs that I got. Here's the back. We'll get into these in a second because there is still more tingies in here. Alright, we got some promo, looks like. That's cool. Holographic sticker. That's pretty cool. It's reflective as hell. That is so cool. Alright. And looks like a couple of trading cards might be in here, but here's the front one. This is the Art of Bilal. Or Blau. Check these out. I don't think I've ever seen these before. Right, there's that front one. All the back look the same, so it's just, you know, the name of the album that they coincide with. There's one. Two, the question mark. I actually had a buddy of mine that I was talking to recently said that he was wearing, I think, the Charm. And he went to work and some lady asked him if it was from the Riddler. I I think he missed an opportunity to mess with it though. Got this one. I think this one kind of goes along with Earth a bit more, but it's actually the cover itself. So there's that one, and then we got one more. It looks like the self-image that Eric has for himself. All right, and then we got. I'm gonna say it again, and I'm gonna make him upset, or I'm gonna make him laugh. We got Mo Stickers. Mo Stickers. You got that, fat boy? You and your shenanigans? Dang, that is a thick sticker. But then we got this one. The next song coming up is called Never Look Back 2099. That one's cool. I like these die cuts. And we got another alien version of Insane E on here. That's pretty cool. Alright, and we got one more item. This is something I've been wanting for a minute. For a moment, he only had the silver ones available, and my pockets just don't go that deep. But I'm really glad that he got some more of the stainless versions of that same charm in, because I finally snagged one for myself. Not only to add to my collection, but I do really enjoy wearing these. Like that weight. Buddy keeps joking with me, saying that we need to start exchanging chiropractor numbers. But here's that Insane E logo. There, now you guys can actually see it. That's pretty cool. That question mark with the spiral on the bottom. That's pretty sweet. And these are, in fact, I think they're not engraved. I want to say maybe laser etched, but they do say just above the spiral, like right here, they do say Insane E 2026. So these are official. So if you start seeing ones without that, they're not official. But either way, it's dope to support the artist too. So that's pretty cool. As far as updates, I have a couple things in the works. I know I mentioned some things in my last videos, but I have a couple more videos in the works and maybe some other projects with some friends. So hopefully you guys will start seeing that soon. That would be pretty cool to be able to put this thing out. But that pretty much wraps up the Ego package that I got from Insane. I do have a bunch of the artwork put together. So instead of showing the usual outro, actually, you know what? I forgot I was going to get into these albums. Let's do that real quick and actually check out the additional artwork that's in these. Anyway, the end of the video, I will be showing artwork instead of the usual outro video. That will be thanks to Fat Boy. Alright. Oh, that's cool. Let's see. Okay, so they're double-sided, and then I can see this being like the coloring book version that he puts out. That's pretty cool. But there's a look at some of the inside art. Little froggy. So that's art of Blau. Let's get into Earth, and then I'll check out that front cover of Scales. Oh dang, this one has a lot going on. I got blasted. Alright, this one has another insert here on the inside. Actually, okay, insert and booklet. So let's take a look at the booklet real quick. got some liner notes. That's cool. He always tries to keep it with like that space and alien theme, which is kind of cool. He also did all the, I believe, all of the cover art for the No Clue Crew stuff. But I really do hope that we're going to see another release from that project. That was fun. They always did very well with each other and pretty much complimenting each other's style. Alright, we'll insert. We got some dinosaur bones on this side, and then we got the holographic insert of the cover. That's pretty sweet. This one actually has some stuff going on in the back tray. It's that same dinosaur print, and then we got the disc. It's pretty sweet. I ever wonder if he's like taking acid when he makes these. Some of them definitely feel like they're designed to be looked at when you're on shit, which I'm not opposed to doing. Alright, we're gonna get into the last one here. And this was the final track on that EP that just came out. This one is called Going Dark. Let's see if I was right, and this was an additional insert. Wow. Well, that was unexpected. So if this actually runs out before my video, I'll throw something on here. Actually, it looks like it's about to run out. I'll go back and listen to the other more previous release, or I could go to that No Clue Crew single. Just give me one sec. That single is called No Clue's Back. But this is it. Alright. Art cards in the Balance Scales album cover. So this is pretty much like the unskeleton version of that release. That's pretty sweet. There's the back of those. Those are pretty sick. And we got the Ouroboros. I actually have one of these on my back. It's just not this one. Mine's from Full Metal Alchemist. That's sweet. Scales Dragon. And then we got like the giant question mark. Key to the Universe. That's pretty sweet. Alright, let's actually get into the album itself now. So, just look on the inside. Let's see if, yeah, this pops out. So this is a booklet. There's that cover. And you got the track listing, production notes. You got the back. That's sick. Yeah, there's just, and then there's Key to the Universe on there. Got that giant dragon's eye in there. It's pretty sweet. This one actually features a feature from Jamie on it. That's pretty much it for the Insane E unboxing from Ego Unlimited. So I hope you guys liked what you saw. Hopefully you guys can click some links and run to his store and show some love, some support. Keep him doing what he loves doing. Keep you listening to the shit you love listening to. Like I said, I will be providing links to just about anything I can regarding Insane E and how you can show your support, you know, store tickets, just sharing stuff. You know, even if you can't buy anything, start sharing. You know, the more people who share, the more people who eventually reach it. You might find it. Could be a new interest from somebody. That's why I tend to pretty much either share everything or just overshare. You don't know who you're going to reach. Timing could be perfect. Who knows? But that's pretty much it for this episode. So I hope you guys have a good one.